You probably ate or drank some this morning. And the scary part is, it is not listed on any label. Not one. Because it is not technically an ingredient. It is something far more dangerous. It is a byproduct, a chemical your food creates when heat meets the wrong combination of ingredients, and researchers have classified it as a probable human carcinogen. The EPA agrees. Multiple international cancer agencies agree. And yet almost nobody is talking about it. The chemical is called acrylamide. And once you understand how it forms, where it hides, and what it does inside your body, you will never look at your pantry the same way again. Here is what most people believe. They believe the worst things in their food are sugar, high fructose corn syrup, seed oils, and refined starches. And yes, all of those cause real harm. But acrylamide sits in a different category altogether. It is not just inflammatory. It is not just hard on your metabolism. Studies in animals classify it as a potent neurotoxin that targets the brain and the nervous system. It has been linked to damage in reproductive organs. And its most alarming connection is to cancer, not as a fringe theory, as a finding supported by serious research and government health agencies around the world. Most people have never heard of it, and that is exactly the problem. So what is acrylamide, and how does it form? The chemistry sounds complicated, but it is actually simple once you see it. Inside many processed foods, there is an amino acid called asparagine. It is found naturally in corn, wheat, rice, and soy. On its own, it is harmless. But pair it with a refined sugar like glucose, dextrose, maltodextrin, or high fructose corn syrup, then crank the heat above 250 degrees Fahrenheit, and something happens. A chemical reaction takes place inside the food. Scientists call it the Maillard reaction. It is what creates that golden brown color on chips, crackers, cereals, and baked goods. Looks appealing, smells delicious, but one of the byproducts of that reaction is acrylamide. And acrylamide, once inside the body, converts to an even more toxic compound called glycidamide. That is the substance researchers believe is most directly linked to cancer development at the cellular level. Now here is something that will probably surprise you. Before the 1990s, McDonald's fried their French fries in beef tallow, which is a saturated fat. And when you fry in a saturated fat, that chemical reaction behaves very differently. Unsaturated fats are chemically stable under high heat. They do not break down the same way vegetable and seed oils do. Researchers have found that cooking with saturated fats like tallow, butter, or coconut oil actually interferes with acrylamide formation. The asparagine and the sugar are still there, but the reaction is suppressed. Then, in the 1990s, restaurants switched to seed oils because of health campaigns pushing against saturated fat. The result was a dramatic increase in acrylamide formation in fried foods. The very switch that was supposed to make food healthier may have made it significantly more toxic. That is one of the most jarring reversals in modern nutrition history. The list of foods that produce acrylamide is longer than most people expect. French fries and potato chips are at the top, but they are far from alone. Corn chips, crackers, cookies, breakfast cereals, the crust of bread, store-bought baked goods, and even roasted coffee all produce acrylamide during processing or cooking. Researchers estimate that acrylamide shows up in roughly 40% of the calories consumed in a typical American diet. For teenagers, more than 2/3 of daily calories come from ultra-processed foods. For adults, it is over 50%. For toddlers, it is nearly half. That means most people are consuming acrylamide in some form at almost every meal, every single day, without knowing it. The exposure is constant. And for older adults whose bodies are already working harder to manage inflammation and cellular repair, that constant low-level exposure adds up in ways that matter. Here is the good news. There is a lot you can do to reduce your exposure, and there are specific foods that actually help your body fight back against acrylamide. Start with heat and cooking method. Slow cooking keeps temperatures well below the 250-degree threshold where the Maillard reaction kicks in. Boiling, steaming, and slow roasting all dramatically reduce acrylamide formation compared to frying or high-heat baking. When you do cook at home, use stable fats. Butter, coconut oil, and animal fats like lard or tallow are the right choice for high-heat cooking. They do not promote acrylamide formation the way seed oils and vegetable oils do. And when you have the option, choose natural sweeteners like honey or pure cane sugar over refined glucose, dextrose, or corn syrup. Natural sugars behave differently in the Maillard reaction and do not drive acrylamide production in the same way. Now let's talk about the foods that help your body counter acrylamide after exposure. This is where the research gets genuinely encouraging. Cruciferous vegetables, including broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, arugula, and cabbage, contain natural compounds that have been shown to protect against acrylamide at the cellular level. Garlic has similar protective properties. Broccoli sprouts are particularly powerful. Foods high in vitamin C, including citrus fruits, bell peppers, and sauerkraut, also appear to reduce acrylamide's impact on the body. Green tea is another strong one. Spirulina has shown protective effects in research as well. And coffee drinkers, here is your specific good news. Dark roasted and espresso coffees actually contain far less acrylamide than light roasts. At the extreme heat used for dark roasting, at above 400 degrees Fahrenheit, acrylamide becomes unstable and breaks down. A light roast can contain up to 10 times more acrylamide than a dark roast. So if you are going to drink coffee, go dark and make it organic. Here is what this all comes down to. Acrylamide is not some rare industrial chemical found only in factories. It is forming inside ordinary foods that millions of people eat every day. It is not on the label because it does not arrive as an ingredient. It is created by the food itself, under heat, in your oven, in the fryer, on the production line. For those of us over 60, when our cells are already slower to repair and our bodies less forgiving of ongoing damage, reducing this kind of exposure is not a small thing. It is part of the foundation of protecting your health for the long term. The course I have developed on to regain your health and vitality, even after 60, goes much deeper into how the foods you eat every day are either fighting for your body or quietly working against it. I have seen what is possible when you make the right changes, and I want that for you too. The link to learn more is right below this video. Take a look. Your next chapter can be a healthy one.